So welcome back. So over next 30 minutes or so, the next session will start around 11:45. That's on preparing for case discussions. Professor Saurabh Mukherjee is going to teach that session. So we have some time for this interaction. I'm going to cover as many questions as possible. So starting from the first one, coming from engineering, how you cleared CFA all 3 levels in the first attempt? SLV invests in early stage startups. Is there an exit from a startup the only way to earn money? And then I don't think they give dividends like listed companies.
Okay, so I didn't do CFA right after my engineering, right? I did CFA after I finished my MBA from Bangalore. So that was the short answer, because it was easy for me after MBA. First 2 levels were really easy. I think 70-80%, maybe 60-70%. And now it's been a while, so I think 60-70% was pretty overlapping curriculum, the CFA curriculum and the MBA curriculum. Like finance courses, there was some. Okay, sorry, I'm blank out. I don't remember the whole world, but many courses were many of the topics were actually overlapping. With engineering also, it helped that you have a little bit more analytical prowess and quantitative. I was good in quants and all these things, so it helped. The third level was a little tough. You had to spend a little more time because I think we have to write in that. There was no multiple choices. So I think first level was multiple choices. Second was mix of multiple and little bit of short answer. And third was quite a bit of writing the answers and very few of multiple choices. So third level you have to prepare a little bit more. And the one thing which I didn't mention, and one of my strengths, and for some reason if you might have noticed already, is taking exams. So any exams you give me and I probably will crack it. So I think that is some talent that I have for whatever reason God has given me. And the other question was the startups, right? So yeah, what you have said is right. You have to make an exit to make money in that. So the way that we invest, we are like very early investors, private equity, venture capital kind of. We come into very early seed stage, pre-series A. So lot of companies fail, right? And so generally what we do, we exit or probably write off the companies which are not working well, right? And we ride our winners. So whichever company is doing well, we generally don't exit very fast. Because the advantage that we have right now, unlike a fund, if I'm in a Blackstone or a KKR, I have a specific time period. Here, I have a little more flexibility because it is family money. And the other money that also we take from outside families is also a long period, a long tenure money. So no one is in hurry to exit. So we let our winners, run. And whenever we exit, yes, so there will be capital gains kind of income. There is no business income or dividend. No startup gives dividend, obviously. They don't have money, obviously, right? So yeah, that's the. Yeah.
Second question is, would you consider hiring from the EPGP cohort? If yes, please help us understand the relevant skills you are looking for in a candidate.
Right. So yesterday, I was telling Professor Sapra that yesterday night I saw these questions. I thought I'll just put together some bullet points. So yes, definitely. If there is an opening, we love to hire. But specifically in my company, the openings are very, very less because we are very small teams, small setup. Most of the thing we outsource, right? Any compliance related thing or secretarial accounts, everything we just outsource to. We have like a common shared group. Like it's part of Kirloskar group, right? So they have shared accounting, so we just give accounting to them. Yes, but if I were to hire, the most important skills obviously will be understanding the finance, the markets, various industries, because we are sector agnostic. So we invest in multiple sectors. There is no specific geographies we have inclination to. So an understanding of those markets, if someone comes with that, obviously that's a big plus. good analytical and problem solving skill is a very important part of it, right? So because we just don't just invest. So end of, like, I think today we have over 25 to 30 startups. And it's not just we invest and just forget, right? We are very closely involved investors. We generally take a board seat in the company that we invest in. So we don't do like day-to-day, involved in day-to-day operations, but we do get involved ourselves in their big task. Like for example, if the startup is raising money in the next round, we help them preparing their financial model, the investment decks, and meeting with, getting connect with different investors and stuff. So a good analytical skills, good Excel, good PowerPoint skill is very important factors. Willingness to work hard is very important part of it. Your perseverance and everything. So I think, yeah, those are the key skills. Obviously the hard skills you'll always develop in MBA and stuff, but there are some soft skills that you need to have. So I think I gave a long answer, but I think it's pretty detailed now.
So given you had around 10 years of work experience before you did your EPGP, what were the major changes you observed in yourself pre and post the program? Secondly, from an employability perspective, what changed in this 1 year?
So I think I narrated most of my experiences in my speech. What I didn't probably cover was that other than finance, you get to understand other fields as well, based on the curriculum and the projects that you do, case studies obviously, the marketing material, the strategy, the operations, supply chain, organization behavior, strategies, multiple things. I mean, I think you might have already got what you're going to study here. So it broadens your horizon. It helps develop a lot of understanding of different portion of it. So when my earlier career started, actually it helped me. I was though handling only finance or fundraising type of things, but because of whatever I learned, I had this kind of exposure. So I used to get involved myself in any activity that is happening. They are having some group discussions on sales strategy, and this invited me once, and I made some good contributions, so they started inviting me, right? So it just, because this whole, whatever you learned, you actually start seeing, this is what I can say, and people are impressed. So it's good. I mean, then other part was what? Employment. Yeah, so, see, all this is good theoretically, but what most important overwhelming value in this course and how it changes your perspective and overall build up your employability is it teaches you how to learn, how to adapt, right? How to collaborate with different people, how to think about something, how to approach something, and how to work with people, different people of different perspective, different mindset, different, point of view. They come from different, all of you are from different background, right? So this is a very good thing, because in engineering, everyone is like same people, some 12th pass, and getting into similar kind of industry. Even in PGP, I think the first day when we joined, Professor Saurabh Mukherjee said, I think he was a placement in charge that time, and he said, PGP is like standard input and standard output, right? Here, it is not that. Mixed background comes, and you always will go to different industries, right? So that is how it works. And I think so that's what it is.
How do you think we can increase the employability of EPGP candidates and the visibility of the EPGP as compared to PGP? So I'm just going to start off by saying that in general, the EPGP candidates are highly employable. There is a demand in market for your skills. There was a time when the 1-year MBAs did not have enough traction in the market. But now, if you speak to anybody in HR and you say EPGP, they may pause for a second. But then once you say 1 year full-time MBA, they say, yes, we know what you're talking about. So there is traction in the market. There is a need for your skill set. There is value for the experience you bring. In general, when companies look to hire EPGP students, they are looking for somebody in a mid-managerial role who can deliver from day one. And trust me, there is a demand for your skill set. So don't worry about it. At the end of every year, I've been associated with not as chairperson, but in other ways with EPGP program for a number of years. There is a request to change EPGP to PGPX because apparently PGPX has greater name recognition and so on. But trust me, market at this point doesn't really care what the name is. Once you say 1 year full-time MBA, they know what we are talking about. So name is not consequential. As I said, there is demand for your skill set. Don't worry at all about it. Focus on your program, learn as much as you can, and there will be companies that will be looking to recruit you.
So other thing, so someone asked, and I will come to this other question, sorry, that, how do you leverage your network and how do you develop your network? And so this is another example. So this question, I was thinking like, okay, fine, I have some thoughts, but let me ask my other EPGP, alumni. And we have this alumni group. And I just put this question on the group, and there were some responses. So I just, took some responses from them. And, the responses were, and which was good, good suggestions, which was like the industry exposure, right? And hands-on experience in tackling the use cases, which PGP do not come like, right? You guys come with 5 years, 7 years, 8 years experience in some kind of leadership role. You have managed teams. That experience doesn't come from the PGP students. So they can be good, like what he mentioned. Mostly the PGP students go into entry-level roles, and the EPGP students at least start with a mid-management, right? So that difference comes. They are good in research and all, but you guys are more exposure. You can go into a little bit more of managing teams and stuff. And then, so sometimes the challenge comes in convincing the companies. Yes, that's true, that, when you are, specifically when you're switching industries, that, you have to prove whether you can handle that switching industry. And this challenge came to me as well, and I do not know exactly current situation is, but it did, because see, when in US, I had a person working in my company who was, I think, 50, 60 years old, and I was like 25, 30, and he has no qualms in reporting to me, right? In India, it doesn't work that way, right? When I started meeting companies, and I was almost 30 that time, right? So they were saying like, see, I cannot take you into the junior most position right now. Your person that you're going to report is be like 25, 26. And that will not gel together. You probably would not survive. I don't know, I thought that's not a problem, but their view was this. And then I cannot take you into a position where these guys will report to you and you don't know anything, which was true because I have not worked on that. So it is challenging to come when you change industry and then again switch to that mid-management role. So you need to be a little bit aligned, and everything should be aligned, and you need to be willing to work hard. Like I was telling, I had to slog myself initially 1 year to make sure that I prove that, it's not just that I just come with some mumbo jumbo MBA and then, so you have to prove. But yeah, this challenge is there, but I think companies have opened for it now because there are 15 batches have gone by and people have proved that we can do things as required. So I think the openness is there now. I'm not sure that, how forthcoming and like, will they come in hordes? I don't know right now, but there is an openness now.
Is there anything else, any other course books that you recommend to go through during EPGP that can help us for our future, irrespective of career that we choose?
The reading, yeah. So yesterday when I was reading this question, and I was mentioning my speech, EPGP is very intense. It's 11 months, too many things happen. You have all this reading material, case studies, projects, go here, there, this industry veteran will come and talk to you. You should be involved in everything, don't come and just say, "Arey, mujhe interest nahi hai," and all, or I'll just sleep and all. But, you have to, if you want to really take maximum out of it, there was one more question, I have spent 10,000 rupees and what do I do now per day? And what should I make most of it? This is what it is. Take most of it means what? You need to just go through everything, right? This is what the ROE means. If you have spent 10,000 rupees, you are aware of that. Not 10,000, 10,000 per day, sorry. So 10,000 per day, obviously you made this calculation, which is very good. So, if you have spent 10,000 rupees per day, then don't sleep in your hostel, right? Just come attend the class, attend the case. Read your case studies. See, these case studies, honestly, case studies are one of the best thing that you do in MBA. You don't do it in generally engineering. I didn't do it in my MS, though it was very good course. I loved it. They focus on a lot of practical things, but case studies was something which only you do in MBAs, I guess. And you read through the past experiences, how this organization has developed itself from scratch to certain level, or how these leaders have developed from this level to this level. So there is a lot more to learn if you involve yourself. There are too many things to do. So I think leave aside your reading extra books right now, in this particular case, at least for next 10, 11 months, and just focus on whatever. If you read whatever is available here, I mean, I don't see you will complete anything reading everything what is available here. Because when I joined, and maybe I don't know, some professor can tell me whether it is true right now, but the first they told me that, every hour of class you need to do 2 hours of studies. So we had 8 hours of class, and 2 hours of studies means what? Like 24 hours you just do this, and where will you sleep, and what will you do, right? So there is enough. I don't see anything extra that you need to do, at least first few terms, first 3-4 terms. And I think Vanita was mentioning, right, or maybe professor also mentioned that, you don't realize. Later on, everyone will figure out in 1 or 2 months, 1 or 2 terms gone by, and suddenly you realize, yeah, I mean, this is what I need to do. But it is a good time. You have 5-6 days, just relax whatever you have to relax, sleep whatever you want to sleep, right? But when it starts, because, this first term actually hits you. You will not know what's happening. Because we are not used to it now, right? I mean, 5, 6, 7 years you have spent in industry, hardly you sit in front of computer, and when it just books comes, you just start sleeping, right? So you make sure that you sleep enough right now, right? So you don't sleep in the class, and make sure you sleep. So this, I mean, and if you really want to read some books I really enjoyed, which actually change your perspective, irrespective of which domain you are in, is like Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. I mean, these are different, build your different perspective, but there are multiple books. I think there is a library, and right now everyone can download books, PDFs and everything. So, but what I suggest right now is give everything here, go through this curriculum, enjoy this. That will be sufficing for now.
So these suggestions are for 11 months later.
So 11 months later,
2026.
maybe 3-4 terms later, you can probably start reading some books. But first 3-4 terms, I don't see.
So we now have actually only 5 terms.
Oh, you have only 5 terms. Oh,
So
there were 8, no?
Now,
Okay.
we only have 10-week terms now.
Okay. So earlier you had only 6 weeks terms.
Yeah, now
And then your 6 weeks has gone by, and suddenly exams are there, and you have not done anything. Like, it is like that.
That still happens with 10-week terms. So
No, for some people it happened, and it was tough.
So next one is, can you give us tips on how to build network and leverage it? Can you tell us how, bottom of the second page,
Yeah.
how the IIMB network has helped you?
This is just MBA jargon, right? So this build network and IIMB network and Harvard network and Stanford network and all. I mean, there is a network. I'm not denying that. But don't go with this mindset of leveraging a network. I mean, what do you want to do? Leveraging network means what? You want to use some people to do something about it. I mean, instead focus on building relationship with people. Make friends. You have too much of opportunity here, 1,500 people to make friends with, right? So just don't look at leveraging, using. I mean, I don't seriously. I mean, I'm an introvert, so I probably come from various different mindset. But focus on building friendship with your friends, batchmates. Connect with people. Help them. Help others. Right? This is how it goes. I mean, see, if you have realized by now, I'm quite a spiritual person, and if you help others, I mean, things will come back 1,000 times back to you. So just drop this idea of leveraging my network and stuff and all. Just be free. I mean, enjoy yourself. Build friendship with people, and these are the people who will come back. Right? I just put a question in the group, and like 20-30 people responded in the night, like 10:30, 11, and that's about it. If you have later on, I'm building network is one everyone wants, like, हाँ मुझे इससे job मिल जाएगा, right? Finally, that's what everyone's kind of building networks means here nowadays. I mean, think about it. You are undergrad, in your undergrads. I spent 4 years in my college with, like, spending 24 hours with them for 4 years, continuously in a hostel, right? I mean, I remember I went to Canada for a vacation with my family, and I went to my friend's place, and I met him after almost 20 years. And there was no difference. I mean, ऐसा नहीं लगा कि मैं पहली बार मिल रहा हूँ. I mean, 24 years के बाद, 20 years. It was like, yes, yesterday only we graduated. And everything looks same. My family gelled, everything. I mean, that is what network, I don't know, I would call that as a network. I mean, that was my friendship. I mean, koi kuch nahi bolta hai. Every time I meet with those people, it starts from like as if we met yesterday. I yesterday met my few batchmates from EPGP. And I met him like after 10 or 15 years. I just met once in Pune. And then 15 years later, I met yesterday. And then we were like talking and everything looked say, ठीक है यार, सब कुछ सब same है, ये भी वही है, मैं भी वही हूँ, मतलब, you know, everything. Though we moved on in our careers and everything, but as a person, everyone was like same. So this whole network building and everything is good. Just be yourself, enjoy with your friends, and you know, that's how I would say.
Bottom question. When you look back at your MBA journey, what is the one thing, if there are more, please add, that made all the difference, and one thing you would do differently if given a chance to do your EPGP again?
Yeah. I think when I was thinking about this yesterday again, I didn't give a deep thought on that, but you know, one thing which made a difference was sincerity. So I was quite sincere in my approach. My willingness to learn was there. I was exposing, I was talking to few of them during the tea break, that you expose. I was in coding job, mostly, you know, working in specific silos, some team management here and there, but here you get to expose, you got to speak to people, you know, and you know, unfortunately or fortunately, whatever you call it, I was role number 1. And throughout previous history in my education or something, I was never role number 1. So I never get to go first. So koi bhi, whatever assignments happen, viva happened, this happened, you always, you know, ask, okay, what is he asking? And then you kind of prepare yourself. Here I was like role number 1. I was exposed from, I mean, everyone was asking me rather than me asking anyone, right? So that was one thing. So this, when he called me and asked me for this, and I was a little hesitant. One reason was March, obviously, because there are a lot of deadlines in the March. But another was like, do I want to expose? I'm not like a, you know, public speaking is not my forte. But you know, this is what it is. I mean, I got this chance and I cannot refuse. I am Bangalore, right? I mean, I have to come. So what would I do differently? Probably a pro bono internship, something I get a chance, but you know, it's very difficult. But if I get a chance, probably I work in some place before before going for the job. So that will get you a little more connect, more practical knowledge, especially for people who want to switch industry or a function, you know, because I was on the job which I never did, right? First job, and I had no idea about this whole financial model or, you know, how to raise funds and, you know, stuff. But you have to learn on the job. But if I had chance, I would have done some kind of projects or internship. Then probably it would have made my life easier. Yeah.
So that is increasingly the trend. I noticed last batch, for example, and you may have got this information already, some people do find the time to do side short projects. Yeah. I won't advise you to do it if you don't have time, but if you can fit in, that's a good way to expand your portfolio. Yeah. What opportunities do you think the global changes we are seeing today
so
present
this question
to
is
MBA graduates like
maybe
us? Yeah.
you can talk more, but you know, because you know this curriculum has been shifting with how this global changes. But I was talking with my batchmate yesterday on you know, in different topic, but we just talked that, you know, he was mentioning that he joined one startup. And before joining, he was saying, okay, how is it going? Or startup, I mean, not completely startup, but a little bit grown startup, not early. And he said, oh, we are doing very well. We have actually doubled, you know, our strength. And he was excited, he joined. And they said that, you know, you have to start with some contract for some 2-3 months, and then we'll come on roll with all your ESOPs and stuff. He joined, and in 3 months, that the founder said that, you know, we cannot make you full time. So he said, what happened? I mean, so he said, we don't have money So things are, what I'm trying to allude is with this global changes, with all this AI and LLMs and whatnot coming one day, and since I'm also in this domain, I see so many startups coming up. Suddenly there is a flood in specific domains. So, you know, around 2020 when COVID was there, everyone's talking about this healthcare and health tech and, you know, stuff. And then I think a year later, 21, 22, everyone was talking about this blockchain, NFTs and cryptos, and every single deck I was getting that they are doing something great on this and you cannot miss them, right? And then suddenly the focus shifted, and whatever I get is all AI and data sciences and stuff. So I have no idea now how to invest, because everyone looks so, I mean, they put together a nice deck. Some investment banker is working, and like you're so confused. So things are changing so fast. A lot of companies do not know what they're going to do in next 6 months. After 6 months, what is going to happen? So one key things which you learn here, and this is one key thing that I feel which will help you overall in this whole changing environment, is ability to adapt, right? Learn and relearn. Right? You need to learn, keep learning, keep relearning. Aaj ye ho gaya, kal wo ho gaya. Everything is like, I don't know. I mean, this is too much right now. The world is changing too fast. It was not like 25 years back that sab chal raha hai aaram se and all. I mean, government still works that way probably, but this whole, our field, the private organization and the field sectors, industries are moving extra fast pace, and I have no idea. So, I mean, you just have to be adapting and trust yourself, trust God probably.
So I'm going to end with perhaps the mother of all questions, the 10,000 rupee question. I know you have already addressed it partially. If you want to add something more.
So I said, yeah, I mean, you have done very good calculation, so which is true.
Let me read out the question so that others.
I'm paying roughly 10,000 per day for the whole next year. How should I make most of it? I mean,
value for money.
Go sleep in hostel. Right? Watch IPL every night. You will make most of it. You'll watch all the advertisement. You'll get some good ideas on brands, how to sell. Right? I mean, what do I say? Make most of it. You have come here to make most of it, right? I mean, I hope you're not come here to sleep. I mean, see. So I was mentioning that. I mean, it's all in my speech, and I was one of them probably. That when you join IIT, and in India it happened. I mean, you guys are much younger. And things have changed in India. I mean, आजकल सबको पता होता है क्या करना है, right? So they are very more informed and probably more evolved. But in our times, I mean, yeah, that is what I said. मैं सच्चा लग रहा है जाके IIT कर लो, बस हो गया. I mean, then just go. First day campus में कौन आ रहा है? हाँ, Infosys, Wipro, TCS. आजकल कोई नहीं जाता है, obviously. But that day those were the number of day one companies. And then this hurt thing is happening, right? You just go and do whatever everyone is doing. Now you have an opportunity. You have worked for 5, 6, 7 years. You at least have chance to see that ये मुझे अच्छा लग रहा है, ये मुझे अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है. I like this, I don't like this. I mean, that undergrad thing or a PGP. In fact, I mean, I'm not downgrading that course. It is amazing, but they do not have that maturity probably that what you guys have right now, right? I mean, you have spent 5, 6 years. Some of you guys are always married now, with some kids as well. So, apne aap hi that responsibility is there. You have matured. And so now if you ask me this question, कि यार 10,000 रुपए लगा दिया मैंने, अभी क्या करूँ मैं? I don't know. You have to see that you have spent 10,000 a day, right? You're spending 10,000 a day, right? So, good that you realize it. And I think this is a good question in a way that everyone knows. Probably some of you have not calculated this. Right? So good that you have someone has calculated and let you know that you are spending 10,000 a day. It is not a small amount. Maybe if some rich parent, they have money, kid, it's fine. I mean, you can spend 1 year in just wedding ceremonies, but but you are spending 10,000 a day. It is not a small amount in today's era also. Right? So just make most of it. Just read everything available, explore, go to library, take projects. Take courses with PGP. Whether it's allowed now?
Yes.
Yeah. Take courses with PGP students, right? It will expose you. Seriously, I mean, these guys are so sharp. I mean, I'm not saying you're not sharp, but I'm saying that they come with only 2-3 years of experience, right? I mean, they're fresh from the college. They're sharp. So when I was doing CPA, someone asking me, right, CFA, CPA, kaise kar liya types. So when I was doing, I was not that sharp, right? Because the CMA course, which is ICW, and the CAs, are meant right after your 12th. You are in that study mode, you are in that student mode. And when I was doing, I was like handling bloody finance, working 10-12 hours a day, and then I was going back and doing some study here and there. And by the way, I did very well. So as I said, my talent is cracking exam, and I actually, if I was doing that ICW or a CA, in my earlier days, if I was allowed to take all these two groups together, I would be rank holder because I got 70 odd percentage, which the basic percentage requirement is only 50%. But this is the problem, right? You have to get into that groove of studying, which is not easy. So get involved. I mean, good part is probably you guys are coming 5, 6 days, 7 days before the course is starting. You get all the time to get adjusted, get your room, set up your room, go whatever groceries you need to do, sleep whatever you want to do, settle your family, समझा दो family को कि भाई भूल जाओ मुझे 1 साल, right? So, I mean seriously, if you want to really make most of it, you have to do this. Just immerse yourself. Take courses with PGP, take courses with PGSEM. I took courses, I think that was PGSEM that time, now changed, right? PGPM, right? So those comes from various different industries. You learn from them. You do group projects with them. So, I mean, make most of it.
So I'm going to close now.